Uh, Found time to do a little welding. My dad had prepped everything and put a nut in place to get that third mounting point for that cover in place. He also ground down a crack here and welded that up. Then we installed the sight glasses on all the bogies for now. As I have said earlier, we'll see how they hold up if they're all scratched and damaged very quickly. But it makes it super easy to check if you're losing any oil in any of the bogies. The harvester was a little hard, it still had the track on. One bogie was a little low since the repair we had made changing that seal. We didn't have enough oil, but I bought more now. Still getting some shrapnel out of that bogie. I've had issues with on the harvester, and the front one some shrapnel, the rear was pretty much packed full. Opened up the cover on the engine to just clean up after some spills. A little oil had made it to that one, it seemed. And here I found a bolt with those Nordlock washers. So started searching for where it came from, and one of the engine mounts started coming undone, with one bolt loose or missing and the other two loose. So that was a good find before more things started coming undone. Put the one in place, and then I loosened the other two. Here I made a little mistake. I should have taken them one by one, because the mount was able to shift a little, but with a crowbar and a long socket we could kind of shift things around enough that we could get the threads to start. Here it was so tight to get any good leverage, so we resorted to that chain and some wooden blocks to pull on the tool to tighten up the bolts. Since some engine mounts were loose, we decided to check the rest of them. The rear seemed to be tighter. There are smaller bolts here, and 4 of them instead of 3 on each side as the front. Here I had my dad reaching in and helping pull, and 2 of these could be tightened up a tiny bit, but not much. Then the other side on the front could use a little tightening up. The ones that I had loose, I added some strong Loctite to. Here he was underneath with a tool that could go down, and a little more force could be applied to them. We put in a couple of pieces of wire inside the hose. That's a grab handle on the harvester just to stiffen it up, because this was kind of floppy, little annoyingly floppy. Spent some time digging out some more muck, searching for a tool I'm missing. Still haven't found, so it will eventually show up, but it was one of those ratchet tools that's a fixed tool with a ratchet at the end, and I guess the ratchet will be bad after spending a couple of years in the belly of the forwarder. Dug around a little more regarding the wiring. I kind of want to get the signal for the ladder work. The harvester need to be moved out of the way, and there is some kind of oil leak somewhere here, and some of the hoses for the brakes look quite bad. I'm gonna replace these and hope that's the issue, that it's not pressurizing the rear axle. After the repair on that cab cylinder, now when you, even if it's been sitting, when you pull the cab up, it comes up pretty straight right away. You don't have to kind of build up pressure in that, the one that might have had an internal leak. So it was just moved out. Then we pulled out the tractor implement tool for that, since we were gonna put the harvester back in. Back to checking the wiring. I could not find the violet wire at all that should be the signal cable for the ladder. I could find it at the connection or cross point underneath the diesel heater, so pulled out more wiring. Here there is an old repair that could be found, and here I found the violet signal cable. And I think the orange should feed power to the ladder sensor. Here it's a little cranky to start again, so I'm not really sure what's up. We've talked to some friends if it could be the cutoff valve for the fuel or air in the fuel. Well, I have to continue digging with that. Did a little test to see if we could trick the ladder sensor into thinking that the ladder was up, but was unsuccessful, so that will be more for another day. Just bundle up the wiring and connect it with a zip tie. Then we closed up the engine hatch. Machine was started and brought out. Once we had it out, I also wanted to check some of the pressures for the crane pump. Found the rubber seal on the door to be a little crooked. See if that can be fixed. Harvester brought in, checked that bad hose again for any signs of leak, but not really this time, so not sure what's up. Brought out the chain block and pulled back that protection for the lights we have removed, but it's also a grab handle on this side, so kind of want to keep it and not remove it, because it was hitting the muffler, the exhaust. It still kind of moves. The muffler is for sure bent a little. The pressures are a tiny bit on the high side. I'm not sure if I should be worried. Here the limit is 3.2 and I'm at 3.28, and here I should be at just, that was the idle pressure, and there is the max pressure. I should be at 23.8, but I'm at 24. If I should be worried about that, I'm not really sure. Checked a few of the other pressures with for other things, and brake and all of those seems to be in range, so I will call it good for now. Didn't really figure out how to do the adjustment on the crane pump itself, so I might have to look into that if I should be worried about a tiny bit too high pressure. We'll ask at Komatsu later on.